Thank you so much. I want to introduce you to Arie Trouw, who was here earlier today. You saw him during the live stream talking about the future of money. Money. I mean, can I call it money if it's blockchain and it's currency? It's currency.
Well, I think one of the big misconceptions is that that's all that it is, right? So, currency is one of the many uses for it, and it's probably the most commonly thought of use right now. But really, it's data, and money is just a ledger of data that people have shared. But I think more importantly, like sharing sensor data, sharing video, sharing metadata, that sort of a thing, without having to have trust of other systems. And so basically data sovereignty in itself using blockchain is something which I think is a very important thing which is happening on Earth right now, but also it'll start going towards the satellite networks and any IoT devices, swarms of IoT devices that do things also, like we talked about that a few different people here, where if you can get 20, 30, 100 little devices that can go out and build a little habitat for you, right? How do they all communicate? How do you always know that nothing malicious is being sent to them and that sort of a thing? So at a certain point, if you have enough people on the moon, there might be an interest for somebody to go and send bad data to your devices, so your devices go over there where they're not supposed to be while you go and do something over here. So there's, it's all data-centric, the blockchain thing, but it's really meant for a decentralized, non-central authority system, which everybody can actually subscribe to, because that way it's fair.
So I'm a pessimist, so I always look for, the devil's advocate side of things, and the negative side. If there's no central authority, who's in charge?
Well, that's the idea. It's, no one's in charge. It's math, really. Math is in charge.
Math is in charge. That scares me even more.
Well, it's the thing which is nice about blockchain is you can look at the math, you can look at the data, and you can validate it as true. So, for example, if I have a block of data and I produce that, then I signed that and we co-signed it or whatever it is. Later on, I don't have to ask you if it's still true. I can go validate it myself with a zero-knowledge proof. And the idea of a zero-knowledge proof is you don't have to have any outside data. I don't have to go and ask, oh, is this true? Is this valid? I can look at the data itself, and it's self-sovereign, and it has its own ability to be validated without having to have an authority do it. So math is the way that you can actually validate it's true.
Should we get on board now? Should this be something we're moving to now? I know there are a lot of concerns, but do you think that people need to be early adopters of this, so by the time we get to all traveling to space and to Mars, that it's second nature? It's just like using our debit cards, which seemed so new to us just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, as I said on stage, I'm a self-proclaimed dataist, and I think that the idea of people getting familiar with dataism and the idea that data is something which is valuable and has a lot of use and a lot of utility between people is something people should get used to on Earth. I think they actually are right now. People have gotten, they share everything on Facebook and on Instagram and that sort of a thing. So understanding all the costs and all the benefits of data and data sharing and like being able to validate data, and data certainty versus data accuracy is also a big question. People often say, well, accuracy is important, but would you rather have certainty as opposed to accuracy? And in many cases, certainty is more important. So I think people are starting to get that paradigm and that cultural shift going on Earth, and with all these IoT devices that are out there. And I think that will just naturally bleed over into these more nascent systems like the satellites, and then eventually to the moon and to Mars. But you have to have a place where A, the technology can actually reach it, and B, you have multiple parties which actually need to share data or get the benefit from it, because there is overhead to using blockchain. It makes it a little bit slower. There's a little more data storage and stuff like that. So if you don't actually get any of the benefit of it, why would you actually pay for that overhead? So there's, it's not a hammer that fits every nail.
Thank you so much for being with us and for not only demystifying it for us, but telling us what the future is and these different dynamic uses of technology. Math is in charge.
Yes. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. I'm going to pass it over back to Matt.